Hello everyone, this is Mike Mullis from the original Next Level Gaming. Today we're going to be bringing you the review of Submerged by Uppercut Games, now available for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. In Submerged, you take on the role of Miku. She's a young girl who has with her her small, wounded brother. They floated into this submerged city in their boat. She needs to find him medical supplies, food, and water. So she brings him up to this small church, lays him down, and is off on her quest to try to find these things. And that is where the Submerged story really begins. The team at Uppercut Games carries with them a lot of pedigree. They were formed in 2011 by industry veterans Ed Orman, Andrew James, and Ryan Lancaster. Now, if you've heard these names before, it's because they were attached to BioShock. They worked on BioShock, BioShock 2, and the XCOM games. Before that, they were working on PC games like Fallout Tactics, Freedom Force, and Tribes Vengeance. So, the guys have a lot of background behind them, and it shows in this game. So Submerged was made with the Unreal 4 engine, and you can see why almost instantaneously from the minute you start the game. The graphics in Submerged are absolutely beautiful, and you can see all kinds of details, from the shimmering in the water to the wake of the boat to the details on the side of the buildings. There are building names, and there are little etchings on the sides, and the trees flow in the wind. There's a day-night cycle, and just some gorgeous, gorgeous graphics. Now, when you're driving along in your boat, you'll see wildlife and botanical, marine life that are jumping and floating about in the water, whales and stingrays and dolphins. And of course, when you're traversing up the sides of buildings and things like that, and you walk through grass and you walk through flowers and things like that, they move out of your way. When you jump up on ledges that have birds, the birds fly. Just little details that you would not expect in a small independent developer studio game, but they are abundant in Submerged. In fact, I would often stop playing the game itself just to look around and just to see all the detail and all the lighting and all the shadowing and everything that the game brings aesthetically. As you see with the boat going along the water and the sun glistening off of it, all of this is persistent throughout the entire city. And it's not just graphics. So you heard it in the beginning of the review. The soundtrack is absolutely gorgeous. It's mostly a piano soundtrack, and it fits the game very, very well. Okay, so let's talk about the gameplay. Now, this game has zero combat in it at all. There are no guns, no weapons of any kind. There are two main mechanics in the game that you play. One is driving the boat. So you have to go from city building to city building, trying to find these crates, and along the way also finding some hidden things such as propellers that make your boat go faster, some books to tell a story, and of course you can, when you come across the marine life, the stuff jumping out of the water and things like that, those kind of open up cards that you can collect. There are also landmarks throughout the city that you can also collect. And when you're looking from building to building, or if you're in your boat and you're trying to find some of these items that you need to collect, you use this lovely telescope which will zoom in and out and help you find what you're looking for. Once you do that, it'll put it on your map, and then you can go to that building and begin the other part of your gameplay mechanic, which is the traversal. So once you step off the boat, your second gameplay mechanic is more along the lines of a third-person traversal kind of game, not unlike bits and pieces of Tomb Raider and adventure games like that. However, the controls here are very, very basic. There's no jumping, there's no sprinting. Actually, there's no running of any kind. You move around basically at your own pace, and you either go up, down, left, or right. Jumps are done automatically. You have to kind of position your body correctly on a ledge or on a top, and it'll kind of do the mechanic for you. All you have to really do is just kind of find your way around. Now, this is good, and it's good and it's bad in that it helps you if you're a gamer who is not really interested in this high-octane action game. You can't really die in this game. You can't. There's no mechanism for you to die. You can't fall off a ledge. You can't accidentally jump off the top of the building. At the same time, you can work this at your own pace. There's actually no real order that you have to do the game in. You can find any of the buildings and any of your crates or any of your special items that you can find on the island whenever you want. So in this case, you can basically run the game however you like. However, its simplicity kind of holds it back in that really it gets a hair bit repetitive. So once you've climbed one building, you can climb them all. It's just a matter of finding the right place to go and finding the right sequence of climbing to get to the top of a building to find what you need. So despite Submerged being an absolutely stunning looking game, one that you can watch and listen to, I did find one major flaw, and that's the length. I was able to beat this game in about 2 hours. I got most of the way through it in one sitting, and then came back and beat it within 10 or 15 minutes of the second sitting. And, that kind of bangs on a replay value a little bit. What do you do once you're done? Well, thankfully, once you're done the main game, you can still go back and find all of the rest of the special hidden items. The books, the stuff for your boat, and any of the other pieces that you might want to traverse and find in the city. When the game's over, you can free roam as much as you want. And on the Xbox One version, the achievements, there are 10 of them, and they do span some of the extra things that are in the game that aren't part of the main mission. Finding some marine life, finding all the books, climbing to the highest building in the city, and so on. The question is, can it give you enough replay value to justify a $20 price tag? And that's a very tough question to answer. So all in all, I'd give this game a 7 out of 10. There are some very redeeming qualities to Submerged. First and foremost, the aesthetics. For a 3-person team at Uppercut Games to take the Unreal 4 engine and do with it what they did in this game, coming right out of the gate for consoles and PC, it gives you hope for the future. I really want to see what these guys come up with next. Because if this is just the starting point for them, then their games are only going to get more and more lush and more beautiful. The soundtrack in this game, as I had said, is absolutely just beautiful. I could listen to it all day long. And sometimes I would just sit and do that. But, there are, as I said, some things that kind of make you pause as to whether or not it's worth a $20 price tag. It is very repetitive. You end up doing the same thing over and over and over, and the game is short. A 2-hour time to beat, that's hard to get over. Now again, you can very much free roam the island when you're done, but is that enough? So that's what we're looking at with Submerged. As always, we thank you guys for tuning in to the original Next Level Gaming. Don't forget to leave your comments below. If you do not agree with my review or you think I'm spot on, let me know. Let me know also if you like the graphics, if you like the sound, if there's a message you'd like to pass on to the great people at Uppercut Games. We do appreciate them letting us review the game for them. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The more subscribers we have, the more content we're going to be able to do for you. We have weekly podcasts and other videos that'll be of great help. And, stop in. We'd love to have you. From the original Next Level Gaming, this is Mike Mullis, and our review of Submerged for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Play on, gamers.